Yo, what's up, guys? So today it is gonna be a little bit special. Today it's gonna be a story or a video about Encores Story, and since now the new update is about to come through very soon, we have about 2 or 3 days left before the current banner disappears with Shorekeeper, and we're gonna have the second half coming through, and we're gonna have the Small Woolly Big Adventures companion story for Encore. And on this video, I wanna make sure everybody understands Encore, and I'm basically gonna be reading into her lore, and basically we're gonna be feeling what she's feeling to understand her character more and to kind of like depict some things apart, because I feel like in Wuthering Wave not many people really don't even understand the character. They just have them, they just fight them. But right now what we are having coming up is her story, and I feel like we are gonna be in one roller coaster of a ride for this new companion story, because it gets dark. So with that, guys, let's just dive right into Encore's, like, all of her stuff, how she got her power, how she did all this, yada yada. So we're gonna look right here. It's gonna be available 10 to 24th, which is next week. I believe it'll be on a Thursday. So for this new companion story, they already showed a little bit of what we're gonna kind of get into because of the trailer, because it already shows Encore showing us the new her dream world. You kind of understand what we're going to be getting into with this new companion story. And right here, this is when I want to start deep diving with Encore. So for us to actually really understand her more, I might do some TLDRs here, because this is a lot of read. So I've already pre-read a lot of stuff, so we're just gonna go dive into it and just to really understand who Encore is and how she came about. So right here on the Resonance Evaluation Report, we're going to read how she got her power first, and then after that we'll go into a TLDR moments of her childhood and how she got to where she's at. And I feel like it's going to get sad in that new update. I hope I'm kind of wrong with that, because I have a soft spot with mothers, because I've recently lost mine, and so it really hits me whenever it comes. There's stories that comes with a child losing her mother, in which Encore lost her mother. So we'll just do a TLDR on that, and then we'll get right into all of this. Okay, so we start now. So Resonance Evaluation Report: the exact time Resonance Encore's awakening remains uncertain. According to Encore's report and Resonance expression, the sheep-like entities that accompany her are considered to be manifestations of her imagination and psychological state. They are believed to be represented her forte ability, because pretty much here is whenever she goes into her heightened state, she manifests horns like sheep's, and she manifests sheep-like hairs and curls, is because of her two dolls. Encore's power as her manifestation is pretty much like a child's make-believe, because she was so scarred in the past, and we'll get into that. So that's how her power looks like a sheep, and she looks like a sheep because of her dolls and what her mother have heavily impacted Encore, because her mother used to be a theater doll. Those two dolls used to belong to Encore's mom, and she used to do plays for children's, and that's Encore always looked it up to that, and that's why her forte ability is manifestation. That's why she manifestate horns and manifestate goat-like hair tips. So that explains that, how her power looks like it is, and why when she goes out of control it looks like that, and she start manifesting that. So next we have Resonator Encore's waveform graph showing zigzag fluctuation. The pattern time domain is irregular. Both the upper, lower, higher peaks value manifest proximity of the criticality level. I swear they just be making up words. Combined with low risk of overclocking is significant. It is recommended to contact her guardian for routine examination and provide psychological intervention if necessary. Scribbled annotation: Encore says Otto is not her guardian. You don't want examination. She likes stories better. So funny, the interaction between these two. Please be good, little one. We have candies for you if you want some. Annotation to annotations. So this is hilarious. But the thing is, Otto is such a big impact on Encore's life. She just don't realize it, and we'll all get into that later. I'm gonna do a little bit TLDR here, a little bit TLDR here. So right here is really just Encore playing, like, being brave. She's just being brave. She's just telling, if you need anything, ask me. I will help you. I will save the day for you. I will be the hero, and we're gonna be on a great adventure. This yada yada, because she is like, I got you, right? So it's because her way how she acts is all gonna be based off from her experience with her mother and performing for the children's, and she looked up to that. That's why she's acting like that, because her mother is like a hero in her eyes. So she is manifesting that to everybody. So that's why Encore is acting like how she is, like she's a tough girl. That is what it is right here, TLDR. So Encore just being super positive and super motivated, super like rely on me. That's just her like really energetic side. And then next we got a kid from the theater. Now this section right here, intimacy level 2. If you guys have Encore, you guys can unlock it in the game, you'll see it, but I haven't. I feel like this is one of the important ones. So right here, it'll be Encore can't remember how long Cosmos and Cloudy have been part of her life. It feels like they have always been there, intertwined with her existence from the very beginning. Now this I might read all the way because it's really important. Perhaps she met them when she was too young to remember. Anyway, her first vivid memories of these bullies trace back to a cramped yet lively theater. Keep that in mind. Back then, a captivating play unfolded amidst enthusiastic applause of the cheers of children. Kids around her age passionately called out the hero's name. This is the important part. The stage dimly lit with tightly closed curtains. After a brief confusion, the children regained their rhythm, chanting in unison for an encore until drums sounded and the curtains lifted, welcoming the return of the hero, her mother. More precisely, the woolly knight portrayed by her mother graced the stage wielding a long sword that sent the villain fleeing. In defeat, the black woolly saved the white woolly princess, and then they had a happily ever after. For a long time, Encore associated with the mother with the black woolly knight, because her mother was a hero in her eyes through the woolies, the two dolls, because those two dolls originated from her mother. Her mother was their original owner. This brave protector of the kingdom reminded her how her mother took care of her. Sometimes when Encore acted up, she saw the same fake stern expression in both her mother and the woolly knight, you know, to be like, you better get your act up. As a child, Encore secretly favored the cute Cloudy, a detail she never shared with Cosmos. So Cloudy represented a gentle princess with a kind heart, adorned in beautiful dresses and a crown, residing in a dreamlike castle. And that's what we're going to be getting in the event. This is why I want to read this. So it's going to be really important to really understand and piece all this. That's why we should kind of be excited for this, you know, the story. The young Encore aspired to be a princess, longing for elegant dresses, a majestic crown, and a sumptuous bed to rest on. Free-spirited children like her didn't fret over monsters beyond the castle. It was the black woolly's duty to keep her safe. Outside the castle was the knight's battlefield, and that was her mother, depicted as a black woolly warrior that protected them. And that's why Encore has such a favorite side to this, to be the protector, to be that. That's why she has that persona with everybody, because it reminded her of her mother and she wanted to be just like her mother, so she manifested it. It's kind of sad, right, if you think about it. And then during those days, Cosmos and Cloudy were mere plushies. They were Encore's good friends, but after playtime, they would always maintain a quiet distance, lying still in a box without uttering a word. It was only when the night fell that faint whispers would emerge beside Encore's bed, so she's hearing stuff. Their fluffy little hands would tenderly stroke Encore's cheeks, offering comfort and freeing her from the clutches of nightmare. Don't be afraid, Encore. Sweet dreams await you. Sleep well, for the adventures with the woolies will be carefully preserved in dreams. For right here, the heroine's return. This is also, I feel like, the second most important of Encores Story, of which we're going to be tied into the new event that we are going to be getting. I wouldn't say event, a companion story. Let me correct myself. So, a heroine's return. This one is really important. The first time Cosmo and Cloudy spoke to Encore was at her mother's funeral. This is going to get sad. It was sudden. She still vividly remembers hearing them as dirty soil and wilted leaves fell onto the coffin. Now, I kind of want to put some emotion into this one because this is pretty fucked up. Initially, the plushies were nestled quietly in Encore's arm, like how they always lay inside the box her mother carried for performances. However, as the funeral attendees began shoveling soil onto the coffin, Cloudy emitted an almost inaudible breath. The small episode went unnoticed by everyone except Encore. So Encore is manifesting. That her forte is slowly manifesting when her mother died. It's sad. Encore. The plushies gradually upped their volume when they realized no one was paying attention. Encore glanced around warily, trying to confirm no one else heard their voices. Let's go, Encore. I'm so bored. Cosmos blunted. Cosmos is the dark one, the black one. Surprisingly, its voice resembled Encore's more than her mother's. So Encore's manifesting it. So, you know, like, that's her power. So Cosmos has her voice more because it's the more blunt, the more childlike one. But Cloudy doesn't want to leave. Cloudy whimpered. Encore struggled to discern who it sounded like. Sometimes like herself and sometimes more like her mother. Now this really paints the picture. So let me tie this in so everybody could kind of understand Encore a little bit more. The reason why Cloudy and why Encore is saying that it resembled more like her mother and her, because this is when her forte really happened, and that's how she's starting to manifest hearing stuff. And Cloudy, which was the princess, the graceful one that her mother always played in theater, Encore always admired Cloudy like that because she was a princess, and that's why she had more of like a tie-in with her mother to that Cloudy one, and herself, because she herself wanted to be a princess too. That's why she could hear both her and her mother in Cloudy. So that's how it came to that. So she is kind of like Delulu, but not Delulu, you know. Then a brief silence followed. The cold morning wind howled through the cemetery. Across the mourning crowd, carrying the sound of soil falling onto the coffin further away. Man. No. Cosmos impatiently urged, we can't wait anymore. The show's almost over. Remember that? As if it suddenly remembered something, Cloudy became anxious. Encore, encore, go to the theater. Let's go to the theater. Gazing into the distance beyond the shadowy trees of cemetery, Encore fixated on the theater's worn but still eye-catching sign. She heard the laughter of children, their uninhibited joy contrasting with the somber sounds of gravel and dirt. She's at a funeral with her mother getting shoveled because she's in the coffin, and she's fixated on a theater that's worn down, broken down. She heard laughter of children. She's reminiscing back in the past when her mother was doing theater stuff for the children's, and they were used to be laughing. Her mother was her hero, and she's like deluluing right now. So she's kind of in the moment of her forte going off pretty much because she lost her mother. She's like, she won't accept it in a way. Amidst disapproving stares of her relatives, Encore fled the cemetery and arrived at the abandoned theater, the one her mother used to be at. As she pushed open the door, dusty silence was disturbed. Warm spotlights glimmered on the stage, revealing a sea of flowers. She's imagining like her forte is going off. Like, that's her power. Amidst the flower, her mother's once withered figure now shone brilliantly, igniting Encore's longing for the woman she loved so dearly. So she is imagining her mother right there. Mommy. Tears shimmered in Encore's eyes as she stumbled towards the stage, but right before she could touch her mother, she was forcefully pulled into the darkness. The show was over, the lights dimmed, and the curtains closed tightly. An eerie silence filled the theater as the demons of sadness and fear crept in. Encore was trapped once again in a haunting nightmare. Her forte manifested. She saw her mom, but she couldn't manifest her mother. Her mother disappeared. As soon as she's about to go to her mother, she got pulled into the dark. So this is her realizing she's losing her mother. So now she's getting pulled back. She couldn't manifest her mom, even if she really, really wanted to. She's broken, kinda. Encore, Cosmo shouted. Encore, Cloudy echoed. To dispel Encore's fear and help her regain courage, Cosmo and Cloudy continued to shout the very word that bring back the show. Encore. When her mother was doing it, all the children was screaming, encore, encore, for her mother. And this is why this brought Encore back. Because of what, you know, she's displaying herself as her mother. And that word encore was like her power to push forward. They kept trying until Encore regained her senses and joined them in shouting her own name. Moments later, the curtains lifted once more, accompanied by drum rolls. As the lights reclaimed the darkness, Encore emerged onto the stage to enthusiastic applause as the new leading role, welcomed by applause from the Cosmos and Cloudy. Can you even imagine? That's sad if you know how to think about this in that way. Overwhelmed, Encore couldn't help but burst into tears. All the sadness and fear were washed away with her streaming tears. Soon her usual smile reappeared on her face. Now it was Encore's turn to play the brave, woolly knight, which was her mother. A new adventure was about to unfold. This time she'll make sure her story was a happy ending. Wow. Because her mother did not have a happy ending. So now she is taking it up upon her role to play as the knight. So that way they can have a happy ending. That's her conclusion. That's her manifestation, her power. Because she don't want to go that route, like she lost her mother. So this is her just coping, pretty much. And that's why she has that persona with everybody. Like, I'm the hero. Like, let's go into the adventure. Let's go this, that. You know, like, we'll have fun. I got your back. This is why. So now everybody knows why she's like this. And now everybody know Encore's background. So just TLDR, she misses her mom. So right here, a new story, a new adventure. This is when Alto met Encore. So pretty much it was just, Encore was just like, you know, like, I met this old man. He's weird, he's hyper, he's happy. But then both the puppet saw Alto. They're like, we like this guy. And then Encore's like, all right, let's go, old man, let's go. And then Alto's like, I'm not old, you know. So now it's just like all of this, and the Wooly saying that Encore should go with Alto. This is how he recruited her. And this is how Encore agreed, because she's saying, what are we going to do? Well, Alto donned his glass, once again replying, to save the world, of course. That's what Encore always wanted it, because of her mother's performance as the Black Knight hero, to save the world. And her, it's a theater. To her, the whole thing is just a play, just because she misses her mother. That is that for a quick TLDR for Encore's story, because I feel like everybody really needs to kind of like dive more into character stories. And this was Encore's like background, and this is available in the game. So people who knows, people who don't, well, here you go. It's a TLDR for Encore. So that way, when we dive into the new companion story of Encore, we should kind of like now have a way to, you know, cope with her, or a way to kind of like see where she's coming from and see where things are coming from, and why you see in the video how she's like, well, this is the new castle. This is the dream world, and you need to really manifest it for it to be here. That's her forte. And throughout everything she's been through, that's all she's known. That's all she known growing up. And that's how we're playing the castle. People saying, oh, well, it's just a, you know, castle like this it's a little child thing. It's like, we're not interested. But y'all gotta understand one thing, guys. There's always something behind an action. And for her, the reason why she's doing that is to cope, because she lost her mother. And I feel like in this story, what we're gonna be seeing, it's gonna be pretty fucked up, because you can see right here when she started crying, say it's from her mother. I feel like that is gonna be the ending when she finally can manifest her mother. I don't want to get emotional, but like I said, I have a soft spot for that. So we're going to be looking into that. It's going to be interesting. And I feel like people should be interested in the companion story. And I feel like people should understand Encore some more and other characters some more every time a companion story comes out. Because I feel like that is like one of the main part of Wuthering Wave. Because, you know, everything ties together. Like I said. So yeah, so with that conclude to this video that I'm doing right now, like a quick video just to understand Encore and to get ready for the new companion story dropping by in 3 days from now or 2 days from now. I hope you all like this video. It's a really short one, but you know, we're all doing it for the love of our little Encore. So with that, guys, thanks for watching the video. Like, subscribe if you guys like this video and want me to do some more, as I cover music, cover everything for Wuthering Wave down to gameplay. With that, I'll catch you guys on the next one. See ya. Bye bye.
夢の中でならママに会えるかな。いつかね、あんこは世界中を旅してついでに世界を救っちゃうんだ。明日の朝ごはんは何にしよっかな。黒名も白名もママがあんこにくれたプレゼント。あんこの大事なお友達だよ。めいたちはあんこにいろいろ教えてくれたの。いい子たちだよ。ハッピーバースデートゥーユー。ハッピーバースデートゥーユー。昔は誕生日になるとママはこの歌を歌ってくれたんだ。だから今はあんこが歌ってあげる。これからも楽しい毎日を過ごせますよ